This is another movie starring Daniel Radcliffe, and he's the primary reason I wanted to see this. But he's not the only reason, because this is also a prison escape movie, and I do have a bit of a soft spot for those, although there aren't really a ton of them around. They're not like heist movies that just pop up constantly, but they are also sorta like heist movies, in that it's about one or more people attempting to basically solve this almost impossible puzzle, and all they have to work with is their intellect and usually very limited resources. And I think that's what I like most about these movies, the problem-solving aspect. And that is very much at the center of this one as well, because we follow these two prisoners, who get sentenced to about a decade on account of fighting for equal rights for all people during apartheid in South Africa. And that's a pretty good setup too, because immediately you have a reason to root for them. They're not criminals per se or bad people, you feel like they're wrongfully imprisoned, so naturally you want them to succeed in their attempt to escape. Now, what I also like about these kind of movies is that they don't always have happy endings. And while this is based on a real story, I wasn't familiar with it from before, so I had no idea what would happen, and there's always potential for things to go wrong. And that added to the stakes and made everything that much more exciting. And I will say that the suspense in this was very good, sometimes even excellent. And the score definitely added to that, because I thought that was very good as well. But they also knew when to use a score and when not to, because sometimes silence is more effective in building tension and suspense than a score ever could be. And the people in charge of this knew exactly when the right moments for silence was. I also thought the direction, editing and pacing were really good overall. There were even a few times when they sorta drew attention to something seemingly trivial that later turned out to be rather important. So I liked that, and as I said, the pacing was good too, it never dragged. And it just kept going at a very steady pace, and I was definitely never bored with it. With that being said, the story here didn't exactly surprise me or do anything special. It's there and it works, and it's more or less your basic prison escape movie. And I thought it was a very enjoyable watch, but I don't necessarily think it's gonna stick with me for a long time. There aren't really any layers to peel back or any hidden complexity to the story here. And there doesn't need to be for it to do what it set out to do either, I guess. Although if it wanted to make some sort of bigger statement about apartheid or whatnot, then I don't think it really did a great job with that, because that's much more of a background thing. It's there, it's the reason why everything happens, but it doesn't really affect the story in one way or another. And I think that's pretty much it. I liked this one a fair bit, and I didn't really have any real big issues with it. I even thought Radcliffe's South African accent was pretty decent, but then again, I'm no expert in that regard. But yeah, I thought this was a very decent and entertaining movie. However, would I recommend it? Sure, why not? Especially if you like prison escape movies, then you'll probably enjoy this. So maybe check it out, or maybe don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.